We're going to give all of our panelists a minute to turn their cameras on. Welcome everyone to Life as a Quarantine. We are very, very excited about this session that we have this evening. We have a great group of panelists here for you all. And I want to introduce myself first. I will do very little talking tonight. This is about the teenagers. We want to hear from them. So I am Miss Dixon, Melina Dixon. I am a licensed professional counselor. I am the senior counselor at KIPP Sunnyside High School. I have been blessed and privileged to be counseling at KIPP Sunnyside since our doors first opened in 2010. And during this time, I've gotten to talk to a lot of students about a lot of different things. COVID has opened up a whole nother can of worms for us. When we first started talking about this in March, SLT, I get to talk to SLT, our student leadership team, all the time. So we would have conversations about what COVID is like, what is it doing to you, how are you feeling? But that was just me and student leadership. When we got back in the fall and we do classroom guidance lessons, Ms. Gomez is our 9th and 10th grade counselor. I do it with 11th to 12th grade students. Hearing the things that our students were saying was enlightening, it was insightful. But it was really heartbreaking for me to hear how our students were feeling, what they were going through. And the more they talked, the more I heard from them. I kept saying, y'all, more people need to hear this. More people need to understand what you all are going through, how you're dealing. But it was also very encouraging to hear what they were doing to encourage and support each other, how they were supporting each other, and just what they were doing to cope themselves. So this is where we are with all of this. These students in particular, they wanted to say, we're like, yes, we need people to hear from us. Yes, I have something that I wanted to share. So this is a group of students that I have here. I'm going to ask them, I'm going to share my screen for a minute, ask them to introduce themselves. Give me a second. You know, the whole screen share thing is always an issue. But if you all remember first, we'll start with Aaliyah. If you can introduce yourself first, and each panelist will share their name, why they wanted to participate, their name, their grade level, in one brief sentence about why you wanted to participate in the panel before we start with our questions. So we'll start with Aaliyah.
Good afternoon. My name is Aaliyah Carpenter. I'm a part of class of 2022. And one reason that I wanted to join this webinar or panel is because I feel like adults and teachers need to understand how their students and kids and stuff have been feeling during this time of being in quarantine.
Thank you, Aaliyah. Can y'all see who's next?
Sorry, technical issue. Good afternoon. My name is Courtney Rayner. I'm class of 2022. The reason why I wanted to do this panel is because I wanted adults to realize that sometimes because we act like we're okay, we're not always okay.
Hi, my name is Annie. I'm from the class of 2022, and the reason why I'm doing this is because parents need a better understanding of what we actually go through, and that other people can relate to this, and we're like, they're not by themselves.
Good afternoon. I'm Isaiah Lamine, class of 2022. The reason I'm on this call today is just to explain, the more we're in our room, that's not really a good thing. It's the more we're in the room, the more concerned that our parents need to be, or just guardians in general.
Hello, my name is Sadie Chavis. I'm in class 2022, and I wanted to participate today because I feel that in this time, like chaos, teenagers have been a little underrepresented, and I would like to spread some awareness on how we're actually feeling at this time.
Hello, my name is Karen Burrow, and I'm from the class of 2021. And the reason why I wanted to be on this call was because I wanted to, be proof that just because I have good grades doesn't mean that I'm doing well.
Hi, my name is Mia Cox. I am a senior, class of 2021, and the reason I wanted to participate in the panel is because 2020 was a very stressful year for me in many ways, and I think it could have gone a lot better if I had more understanding and empathy from parents and adults.
Hello, I'm Cordell Jones, class of 2021. I participated to be in quarantine because I want every single one of my teammates to know that we here for them, and I'm here to motivate you always.
Hey y'all, Jaden Williams, class of 2021. I wanted to participate in this webinar because obviously since COVID and everything, everybody been through a lot. So sometimes people just need that extra push.
Hi, my name is Dason Reeves, and I'm speaking.
Son, we can't hear you. I don't know what happened. Did y'all hear Son? Something happened, Son. Try again. While Son's figuring it out. Haley, if you're there. Haley, you're muted. This is COVID quarantine, people. This is what happens. And we just got Toyo.
Okay, hi, my name is Haley Richardson. I'm class of 2021, and I wanted to participate in this webinar because I feel like, I don't know, our generation doesn't really like speak or like have like really good relationships with like adults, and I feel like we know how we feel most of the time, but we don't really know how to like communicate that well. And I feel like ever since COVID, everybody's kind of been in a weird predicament where like everything is literally changing like drastically. So I just wanted to be able to like share from like a younger standpoint and also like just get like feedback from just my teammates.
Thank you, Haley. Toyo, you're up. We had to figure out Toyo too.
Huh. Hello everybody. My name is Toyo Gonzalez, and I'm here to just share my story and how I'm dealing with COVID and all of that. That's pretty much it.
Toyo. Son, you want to try again?
Can you hear me? Is it good? All right, bet. My name is Dason Reeves, and I want to be able to speak up and share my story. And I know it's hard for a lot of people my age or our age that go through things to speak up to their parents. So I just want to be maybe a little voice for some of our fellow students.
Thank you, panelists. As you see, we have a wide variety of students' perspectives coming from different places, excuse me, coming from different places. And this is what COVID looks like. This is what our classroom looks like on many days, coming in and out, doing whatever we need to do to keep ourselves engaged in whatever is taking place. So this very first question I want all of you all to answer, and then I'll have plenty of questions to ask from there. All of our attendees, thank you again for attending. If you have questions that you want to ask the panelists as well, there's a Q&A feature. Hopefully you see a Q&A feature. Feel free to ask questions. We'll do our best to monitor the questions in the chat while we go. So just for starters, we'll go in the same order. Just how are you holding up? How are you feeling right now? We'll start with Aaliyah again.
So right now I'm stressed at the moment and I'm a little overwhelmed with everything. That's pretty much it.
Right now, how I'm feeling about COVID is very alone. I feel alone because I feel like everything has changed drastically. Like I don't go to school anymore. I don't see my friends anymore. Dance has changed my life. I stopped dancing for a minute, then I went back to dancing. Dancing is just different. So I feel just separated and alone. That's all.
How I'm feeling right now, I'm actually okay. I'm kind of nervous though, because we're doing this and a bunch of people are just listening to us. So yeah, but I'm okay.
At the moment, it's like we're still in quarantine. So what quarantine has brought me personally, it's a lot of struggle and pain. But it's like 2021 is coming. Well, started already. So I got a little bit of hope.
Right now, I'm kind of like lacking a lot of motivation to like get my work done and stuff, but I've still been doing like what I need to do. So I'll say that like I get most of my work done, but I'm kind of starting to struggle with the motivation part.
I don't really know. It kind of depends. It varies day by day. Like yesterday, I was like, you know what, I was feeling fine, but today I'm like, you know. But it just, I don't know. Like I was doing really well for a second. You know, I had a good streak. I was turning in all my assignments, and then I've crashed today. Well, last night technically, but it's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of been back and forth for me. I think being able to go in person has like helped me a lot because virtual school, I could not really get any assignments done. So being in person has helped me like do better and feel a little more motivated. But at the same time, I'm getting like very nervous because like I'm around all my friends, but I don't want to be too close to them. And I'm still being very cautious of like COVID being real. And I'm very scared of like getting sick because I'm not really a person who gets sick very often. So yeah, I just a back and forth of being okay and then being kind of scared.
With me, senior year started off good with COVID. I started getting everything, got made sure grades was correct. And then this second semester started hitting, and it felt like everything started hitting me at once. Like, oh, you're in COVID, you're in the house all day. Senior, you ready to leave, you ready to go to college. So I'm starting to try to get back on track right now.
For me, honestly, y'all, like I'm just here, honestly. Some most days are worse than others for me, so I'm just here, but I'm making it.
Personally, I'm in a recovery stage. I was kind of unmotivated. I was having a lot of anxiety, just going through a lot. It was a big switch for me, like being able to play sports, and then everything was kind of taken away from my senior year. It was just like isolated, and it was a big change for me. And but I'm getting better now.
So personally for me, COVID was more like it made a bad year so much worse. So it was just like it took me a minute to figure out how to move forward. It was more of a wake up call. It definitely made me realize that I took a lot of stuff like prior to COVID for advantage, like or for granted, I would say. So I don't know. I feel like now I'm just kind of like working with like the new things that are going on and like the new person that I've become. And it definitely is like really challenging, but I mean, you know, we're all getting through it. So
What can I say? It was a horrible year, not gonna lie. Um, but as my peers, mentioned already, the motivation is like a big part, like staying motivated while being inside, and like me doing my homework from my bed is just it's just an odd thing because I'm used to this professional environment in the school, and just like being alone with my thoughts sometimes is not that good, but I'll try to stay motivated. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you all. And as Ms. Jobel said, thank you so much for sharing and being vulnerable. We warned people, the attendees, that this was going to be a time for you all to be very open and honest and share about how you're feeling. And I know this is not easy for you all, and you all are doing such great work just by sharing how you're feeling. And what I want attendees also to understand is this is not like we have not rehearsed the questions. We practiced the format of this, but we have not practiced the questions. These students are being completely open and honest with you about how they're feeling. So it may not sound pretty. It's not going to be glamorous, but this is their reality. So please understand and respect that. But also understanding that they are speaking for themselves, but they are most likely speaking for many of the other teenagers, students, children that may be in your care, in your surroundings. So please keep that in mind as well. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can focus on our participants, on the panelists. But the first real question, that was just like, how are we doing? How has your academic behavior changed since COVID started? Whether you're in person or virtual, how has your academic behavior changed?
I think I would like to start. So for like most of my life, I've been the like all A student, the top of my class. You know, I'm like the student who can like go around teaching everyone else because I already knew what to do. And I noticed, especially in high school, you know, this is really a time where like, we're teenagers and it's fun, but our brains are really starting to think a lot more than we're used to them thinking. And so we struggle a lot like mentally. And I noticed that like every year, right around before spring break, I would just kind of plummet. And it would be so hard for me to like pay attention in class and do my work despite like being the #1 student. And somehow I would keep up with that. But then when COVID hit, I remember I like was so disappointed in myself because I was never used to struggling in that way. I would go days without logging into class at all because I felt like I couldn't do it because we were in a virtual setting. And I'm always been a person like the theme of today is definitely motivation. I'm motivated by my friends, and not being able to see them or be around them, I had like so little motivation and I could never go to class. And I was so scared at the beginning of this year because it was almost the same thing, because I was doing in person at the beginning of this year and then had to switch back to virtual. And again, my grades kind of started plummeting a little bit. And it's so difficult because we kind of take for granted just how we learn. And this is something completely new for us. And so I know personally, I struggled so much just being able to turn on the computer when the other option was just to not turn it on and like go to sleep, you know?
I can also agree with Mia from what she just stated, because I very much now I feel unmotivated. I've been doing virtual since quarantine started. So it's like I always learn in front of a teacher, pen and paper. That's how I work. But it's like now I have to type, I have to do this, you have to pull this down. It's really confusing. And I'm not a technology type of person. Can't do it by myself. So it's like the motivation is not there. And at this point, my mindset is like, you have until 11:59. That's it. Don't think about nothing else. You have until 11:59. That's all. Don't care about what you just learned. You probably didn't even really just develop that. You didn't take it in for real. But it's more so like, okay, I have 11:59. You take a nap, you thinking in your head, I have until 11:59. You're waking up out of your sleep doing papers, not like regular papers. I'm talking about 2-3 pages papers. Doing whole PowerPoints. Do at 11:59 for 4 classes a day. So it's like the motivation is gone, the effort is gone. At this point, something's on that paper, so I'm just gonna press submit. You have it, take it in your hands. My grades, it is what it is. At least I'm not failing. I mean, that 69 dude, it can be a 70, but I'm gonna leave it alone. So it's just like the motivation, the faith, the energy that I had when I was in person, all that gone. It went out the window. I'm not used to doing this. I've never liked sitting in front of a computer, even when we had to use them in school. So it's like, you telling me I gotta wake up at 8 in the morning, stay until 3, and we gotta work like this? No. It just doesn't sit well with me. It makes me very uncomfortable. I get confused very easily. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
I'm sorry. I just want to just put in my 2 cents because I feel like everybody kind of said everything that was on my mind. But I know since quarantine, first, this experience has been very like crazy for everybody, even like people who aren't in school, like people who were working and lost jobs, and like people's situations have completely changed, and life is just so much different now. And it's crazy because we never like expected it, so it's just like, oh my god. But like I know for me, I was a very like in-person kind of student, and I was like, I relied on the relationships I had with everybody around me. So like besides like just my friends, because even my friend group is small, so it's just like, yeah, like I love my friends and like talking to them every day and like working with them and all that. But it was like I loved my teachers as well. I didn't realize it until we didn't have them anymore, and I was like, dang, I actually love these people, like all of the people, like everybody. And so it was just like, it was so hard to feel like I was motivated, like even getting up and like, okay, it's kind of like easy to feel like you go unnoticed. And it's like easy to like kind of fall into the swing of things to where you're just like getting up, logging on your computer and not even looking at it, like literally not even looking at it. You're on your phone, you're asleep, you wake up, like you set an alarm and wake up. Even sometimes setting an alarm be too much. Like you just get up whenever and then log on, not listening at all. You can't focus, especially if you're not like a technical, like savvy kind of person, is really hard. And then like being submerged in your house. Like I know for a lot of kids that go to KIPP, like school was an outlet, school was an escape. So the fact that like we didn't have that anymore was like, that was a like hard reality to like face. So I don't know. I feel like COVID has just been like a punch in the face for everybody, but it definitely has made everybody stronger. So that's all.
So y'all answered a whole bunch of questions at once, but I'm going to keep going with the. But before we go to the next question, raise your hand if your grades have improved since COVID hit. Okay, so we got 2 out. All right, just to put it out there, because we have a lot of teachers and some are putting in the chat, like, what can we do to support you all? Hang tight, teachers and adults. One of the questions is, how can you all better support them? So we're going to get there, but we want them to continue to share how they're feeling first before we get to that part. So next question, how has your overall mood or behavior changed since COVID started? If you haven't spoken yet, we want to start with you. Louder,
So,
Jaden. Louder, Jaden.
Y'all can hear me?
Just a little bit louder. You can get
Okay.
louder.
Can you hear me now? Okay, for me, honestly, y'all, like, ooh, okay, like y'all know me, like I'm loud, I be all over the place, and now I'll be having to like, well, I still be kind of sneaking on the other hallways for lunch sometimes, but like now I be having to stay in one spot for a long period of time, and that's hard for me, like, and I can't like interact with a lot of people, so it's just like, dang, like, so that changed for me a lot, and now I'm just like kind of used to being like in my own space, like, so yeah.
I think you said how was our behavior?
Your mood, your behavior, your attitude, all of that.
Oh, okay. So I think when quarantine hit or COVID hit, before that I was like goofy and friendly. And when COVID hit, I think I'm still a little bit friendly, but a lot of times I'm quiet to myself. I think one friend was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "Nothing." And then it was like, "Bro, you being antisocial," and I didn't really know that until I actually, looked back on what I was doing. And yeah, they were right. Like I had a dramatic change for my behavior and actions. So yeah.
Oh, can I speak? Or Courtney, you want to go?
No, you can go.
Are you sure?
Okay, I'll go. I feel like my behavior has changed drastically because in school I used to be like happy, like really happy, like, hey, you smile, why are you so sad? Like I used to be like the uppity type person, but now it's like I'm at home, like doing nothing, so I'm gonna sleep all day and just be down. it's nothing to smile about because everybody's at home. I'm not at school, so I don't have to talk to nobody and make somebody happy. So yeah.
Um, for me, I kind of get like a little agitated easier now because like back then, if somebody like did something stupid or said something like a little messed up to me, I'll think about it and then I'll just go walk around or go train and just forget about it because I'm distracted. But now, since I'm alone with my thoughts, I keep thinking about it, I'm like, damn, this dude really said this to me? Like, who we think he is or something? But, you know, I get a little agitated easier. I'm sometimes mad. And then what Isaiah said, like, I become a little more antisocial because I'm not used to being with my friends. And when I'm with my friends, I'm like, oh, you're not a computer screen. You're an actual human being. Like it kind of tripped me out sometimes. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Before we move on to the next question, two things for clarification. Toyo, what kind of training do you do?
Oh, in general, I do MMA, but I'll like box or do kickboxing. It's pretty much it. So don't get scared when I say I go punching people in the face. I don't punch random people in the face because I'm a nice person, as y'all can tell.
But that's a good segue to this follow-up for this question. Isaiah, when we talked in the classroom about this, Isaiah made a point that to me was just like, whoa, which is part of the reason why I was like, people have to hear this. Isaiah, can you talk about the fights that you got in with yourself?
Okay, so, well, when I said that, I was being goofy, even though it was true, but so fights I got into with myself is like, since you're in your room alone, well, before, we had the opportunity to go to school, I was in my room by myself. So while I was in my room, it's like, I would reminisce or think about, past situations or situations happening at that moment, or even skeptical about what would happen in the future. And it would be like changing up my emotions at once. So like 5 seconds, I'll be this emotion, then I'll be upset, then I'll be angry, then I'll be depressed for some reason. And it's like I didn't really no, I didn't really know myself until I stayed in my room. And it's like I'm not the person, you know, that I portray myself to be outside of my room.
That right there. There was so much of that happened when we were doing these classroom guidance lessons. For somebody to stay in their room for 8-10 hours a day. I mean, the 8 hours a day is like school. Then outside of school, if you are a teenager or a parent of a teenager, they're not coming out of their rooms after school is over. Like they spend an enormous amount of time in their rooms, and they're not always doing things that are healthy or enjoyable, and they're spending a lot of times in their heads. I'm going to be quiet, just ask the next question. But what Isaiah said, if you notice, the panelists were all nodding their head. Like I started to realize I'm not who I thought I was. And there are a lot of things going on in their heads. And they're like, where did that come from? So these are real conversations that are happening inside of our own heads as adults. A lot of adults are having these conversations with ourselves and figuring out who we are and realizing maybe I'm not as sociable as I thought I was. So just imagine it. As adults, we know we're supposed to know how to manage our emotions and our feelings in our lives. Teenagers, this is the point when they are supposed to be learning about themselves and be developing these boundaries and skills, but they're learning and developing them in their rooms. I mean, it's really just a tough position that the world has put our teenagers in. So again, I'm glad you all are sharing these thoughts, because I've just been afraid, is something that I say often, that the teenagers are the ones y'all are getting like the shortest end of the COVID stick. Little kids, it's tough on them, but little kids really tougher on the parents who have to take care of the little kids. Parents, it's tough on them because they're parents. But again, parents should have the skills to cope with this. Teenagers, everyone thinks y'all are fine and assuming y'all are fine. You got your TVs, you got your phones, you got Netflix, you got TikTok. Everyone just assumes you're fine. Clearly, we're hearing this is not the case. So thank you all. We're going to move on to the next question. What has been the hardest part about all of this for you all? Someone who hasn't spoken, well, a few people who haven't spoken yet. What has been the hardest part about COVID quarantining for you?
Honestly,
I'll start.
oh,
You go.
no, you can go first.
I think the hardest part for me has been like it has been like getting used to being alone. Because I think like when beforehand, like there was a lot of like distractions, like it's always people around you, you have school and you have parties, it's like always something going on. But now like I really like have to like sit alone, by myself like for most of the day. And it's kind of hard to adjust to because I'm not used to being alone all the time, or not nearly as much as I am now. So I think that's been the hardest part for me.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, honestly, just getting out of bed, Like, when you see like so many people like struggling and hurting around you, it's like, what's kind of the point? Like, a lot of us have been thinking, like, what's the point? And so I don't know. It's like sometimes I don't even have like the energy to like get out of bed and use the restroom, brush my teeth, shower.
The hardest part for me about this is that, you know, the kids that have siblings or whatever, we have to take care of them and help them. And then, our parents sometimes still leave us chores to do, and we have to do that too. So it's really hard to try and balance everything out and doing school.
Uh,
Cordell first. We haven't heard Cordell yet.
the hardest thing for me is just that I can't be myself 100% because I'm the most energetic person. I'd probably be running down the hallways, laughing with the teachers, laughing with everybody. And it's hard for me to do that in a Zoom call in my bed. Sometimes the lights be off. And I try to bring it into the class. I probably be joking with Ms. Martinez or joking with Mr. Greenfield, just a couple teachers. But it's like you don't got the same bond as a teacher you have in person. And that was hard for me to have.
What Cordell was saying, it's like in your room, you have no one around you but yourself. So you have no other choice but to, do absolutely nothing when you feel like it. And it's like being out of your room or out of the house and just in general, it's like you have not emotions, but you have energy to bounce off of. So you're with your friends, they're goofy. So, if you are goofy or were goofy before quarantine hit, it's like you start building it back and then it comes out even more. Cause I know before quarantine, I was goofy, sometimes loud, sometimes talkative. When quarantine hit and I had to stay at home, I don't know what I was, but it wasn't that. And now after, like while we were all in school, it's like I'm goofy, but it's like I'm talkative at the same time because like I've been alone for so long. I talk to a lot of people, like teachers, students sometimes, but it's like I'm more of myself out of the house than I'm in it.
Haley, did you want to answer that?
Yeah, I wanted to say it fast because I know that I could just be talking for forever. But okay, I was trying to make sure I was off mute because I was going to be so embarrassed. Anyways, okay. I think I just forgot the question. Oh, okay. Okay, so I think the worst part of COVID has been, okay, I didn't realize how much I was struggling until COVID happened. Because it's like you can get really lost in like being at school and being surrounded by so many people. And even if it's just people that you're not really too fond of, or like even if it is people you're fond of, like you can get lost in like everybody else's personality and like what other people are going through. Like you don't realize what you're dealing with because it's like easy to not focus on it. But then when you're like by yourself and you're isolated, it's like, dang, okay, this ain't a vibe. I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this. I'm a very energetic person, so it was really hard to like still be so positive when I'm in my room by myself. And like I have an older brother who's like way older than me, 6 years apart. So like he has his own apartment, so I'm not around him. I don't really have any friends around besides like at school. All of my like older friends are like working, so like, you know, they have their own lives, and my mom works. So it was just like, okay, what do I do? You know, like where do I like put my energy? And then after like so long of not doing anything, it's easy to not do anything. So you're just like, you kind of get stuck in that, and you're like, okay, I know this isn't me. Like I know before I was like this person, but now I'm not that anymore. So like, is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? Like, am I supposed to like work towards being who I was? Or like, was that just like a facade? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? And then it kind of is like, like, it's easy being like stuck in it, really, like just sitting in your bed, not doing anything, not getting up to eat, like what Karen said, not getting up to brush your teeth. Like, it's easy to not do those things because it's just like, well, I don't know, like it kind of makes you like a little robot, you know, like you're just going to the classes on a computer and like not really learning, turning in work at like Aaliyah said 11:59, that's the deadline. But like from like when your day starts to 11:59, everything is just the same. You're just in your bed with nothing to do. So I feel like it forced people to like lose themselves and like face what they were going through.
Ooh, I'm so glad Haley just spoke about that too, because as a teenager, I'm only 17. Just so y'all can know, I'm not even older. I'm just 17. Y'all have to understand that when kids or teenagers in general, kids as well, that be going through things, we use things as distraction. So for some kids, school was their distractions. The athletes, sports was their distraction. So it's like with quarantine, we don't have it anymore. So like I have no choice but to sit and think about everything that I had a distraction for. No matter if I was writing a paper in class or talking to my friend in school or I was going out of the house like this. Now I was just like, okay, we finna think about this for the rest of the night. I done got out of class at 3. Oh yeah, I'm gonna think about this until 11, maybe 12, the whole night, because that distraction that I have is not there anymore. And I feel like I see the questions that the parents are asking about how can teachers and parents help. I believe that's the next question. Y'all gonna hear me talk again because I got a story time for y'all. So it's like you have to think the the distractions that we had at like that's what we're used to. We could maybe it's our friend, maybe it's a teacher that just you took everything away. As soon as we got in your class, ooh, that thought about me being suicidal was gone. Me being depressed was gone. All of that was gone just because I was in your class, just because I spoke to you. We had a conversation. Just because Haley walked past me, hi, Aaliyah. Like, that's the type of things that made you get away. But now we don't have that anymore. So it's like I have no choice but to sit and think about it. And I beat myself up. And then, the grades start slipping. And then the parents are like on your neck, like, why are you not in class? Why are you absent? Why are your grades slipping? And it's just like, now, if you want me to be honest with you, it's gonna hurt your feelings. But it's like, this is why I can't wait to ask. Oh, I can't wait to Miss Dixon ask this next question. Because I'm really gonna open all of the adults' eyes because y'all just think as like, it's not that hard. Not to call y'all no sweethearts, but sweetheart, you already walked across the stage. You have your diploma. It's on the wall. Mine's not here yet. I have a year left. So it's like, how is it easy? How do you know that it's easy for me? When you don't have to sit down, you don't have to wake up at 8 in the morning and listen to a teacher lecture you for 90 minutes and then give you a 14 slide PowerPoint for you to do and turn it in at 11:59. On top of that, you got 3 more classes that's give you the same thing. Y'all have to understand, we're still teenagers. Yes, we may be 17, 18, 16. It doesn't matter. We're still humans. We still have feelings. We still stress. And another thing, we ain't got to pay bills to be stressed. We ain't got to have a job to be stressed. We don't have to have a kid to be overwhelmed, to be depressed, to be sad, to be fed up. All of that is free. Depression is free. Suicidal is free. Feeling alone is free. But I'm waiting till she answers this next question. I'm gonna
preaching, okay?
I'm gonna let that settle in. I'm gonna let y'all think about it.
Leah just said depression is free. Go ahead, Mia. I haven't even got to the next question. Go ahead, Mia. Go ahead, Mia.
The next question, but I do want to make like a big point off of what Leah said. So I know one thing that we all know that every adult parent says, we're on our phones too much, we're playing video games too much, doing this and that too much. A lot of us overstimulate ourselves because we have to escape our own thoughts, our own minds, our own actual feelings, our own issues that we're actually going through. I can check on my phone right now and see how many hours I have on TikTok. I probably have over 8 hours this week alone, because we do all these things because we need to get away from what our mind is actually going through. And that's why COVID is so hard for us, because we can stay on our phones for so long, but at a certain time, it gets too much for us. And then again, here we are alone with our thoughts. And that's exactly what she was saying with why we need to be at school, why we are always trying to connect with other people, because we need to overstimulate ourselves in some way to escape our actual minds. And a lot of us have intrusive thoughts. And this is a little bit like analytical, scientific, but our generation, we grew up with the basically bombarding of information through the internet, through TV. All of us grew up getting so much information thrown at us. Within a few days, if you saw what was trending on Twitter the few days before, during, and after the storming of the Capitol, so many crazy things happen within 1 week, and we're just like, oh yeah, because we've been overstimulated and thrown so much information that we just have to deal with it. And that's how we deal with it. We deal with it by blocking our brains through staying on our phone all day, talking to our friends all day, being on videos all day. That's what we have to do to feel sane.
Clearly they have a lot to say. This is why we're here, because when we first said an hour and a half, they were like, that long, but the panelists knew they have a lot to say. So we're going to try our best to wrap up in time. Next question, and we're going to start with Courtney. What are some of the misconceptions you think parents, guardians, educators, adults in general have about how teenagers are coping through this time of COVID? And look at Aaliyah back there. Aaliyah, you're going to hang tight, Aaliyah. All right, Courtney.
Okay, I'm not gonna make mine too long because I know everybody wants to leave at a certain time. But I feel like the biggest misconception is everyone is okay. Like, I put on this big smile, get on social media like I'm okay, and honestly and truly, COVID just messed up my life. Dance was my biggest motivation to having my grades on point. And when I stopped dancing for SDC, it was just like, I'm just gonna lay in my bed. I'm not gonna get up for school. I'm just not even gonna worry about turning in my work at 11:59. If y'all want me to be honest, like I had no motivation. And then thanks to Jamara, she started a 2022 group chat and made sure our grades was on point. If it wasn't for her, I don't know where I would be right now, because y'all, I was just done with it. I was begging and pleading, Mama, can I dance? Can I dance? Can I dance? She was no, because of COVID, no, because of COVID. And I'm just like, I have no motivation. Like, and with dance, it was like, I know a lot of people is like, how is dance your motivation when you're doing something you love? Dance is my motivation because when it comes to dancing, it's like you can't dance because your grace is not looking like this. You can't do this because this. Like you can't do something you love because you're not meeting my requirements. So if I know I don't have that grade, I'm not gonna be up on that stage, and I want to be up on that stage. So I made sure my grades was at least that 75 or above. And I started dancing, and it was just like, it sucks. But I'm back dancing, and I don't dance with SDC, which sucks. Um, that's my motivation. So yeah.
What other misconceptions? Thank you, Courtney. What other misconceptions do you think adults in general have about how you all are coping in COVID? Dayson, we haven't heard from you in a minute.
I was trying to wait until I could give like my personal anecdote, the real reason I was trying to speak, but
Okay, let me interject real fast then, because I did tell the panelists, if you don't get an opportunity to speak at the question you want to, whenever you get the floor, use it to answer whatever question you want. So here's your time, Dayson. Answer it how you want. Did he freeze? I think he froze. We're gonna come back to Dayson. Who's been itching to speak and hasn't? Oh, there you go. All right, Dayson. We thought we lost you.
all right, my bad. All right, wait, is it bad again, or are we good?
You're
Okay.
good.
Basically, a lot of people know that I spent pretty much the week before and the first week of the Christmas break in a psychiatric ward for suicidal ideations. It caught a lot of people off guard because in school I was like the cool football, talk a lot, class clown type of kid, and even talking to my parents, it was kind of hard for me because it kind of was like embarrassing, almost scared that they wouldn't understand what was going on. But actually, like something I want people like to understand is that when I was able to speak up, they kind of like I got praised for it more than I got put down for it. They were actually proud of me that I was able to speak up and tell them know what was going on, and I got help. I was like rock bottom, ready to end it all. I was isolated for too long. My anxiety is still bad, but I was in the psychiatric ward for that time, and I saw some things, and I felt horrible. But after I got out, I was just like so much more grateful for what I had, and like understood that that's not who I couldn't let the things that I couldn't let Corona make me. I couldn't let the isolation make me. I couldn't let that depression that I was feeling at that moment. I couldn't let that make me because I was so much more than that. So it was just like, even now it's still kind of hard, and I developed some things that I'm not sure if I'm gonna ever be able to get rid of, but I'm not gonna not stop fighting. I'm always be able to keep persevering through the pain or whatever is going on. I want to be able to make sure that other people understand that you're not the only one going through things, and that you can never be scared to speak up because you need to be heard all the time. It's I know it's challenging, and I know it's scary to to feel like you won't be accepted for certain things, but it's worth it. Speaking up is definitely worth it. Speaking up definitely made me feel 10 times better. I felt so much more loved, and it was like it felt like a sense of home everywhere, and it always felt like, even now talking, I feel so much support, and it feels good. I'm glad that the other panelists are able to speak up and provide other bits and pieces that I won't be able to speak up on. But yeah, I definitely feel like it was good for me to speak because before before this I was such like the cool kid. It was so like it was such a surprise to everyone of what was going on. And So just let you know that everybody goes through certain things, and that's really all I got. I'm about to start choking up and crying and shit, but I'm good. I'll participate a little bit more, but I wanted to just let people know that speaking up is definitely worth it.
For it, thank you, Daesun, so much. There's a lot that I want to say, but just so you all know, if y'all could see just the love that the panelists are giving to each other in the all panelists have, we have our own chat. The love that is being given to Daesun right now is just so powerful. So thank you, Daesun, for sharing. Thank you all panelists for encouraging and supporting. If anyone has felt how Daesun has felt, and there are a lot of people who have, because I get to hear from a lot of you and a lot of people I don't know, that took so much courage. And the panelists asked for this to go on Instagram Live. I mean, not that many people follow. More people should follow KIPP Sunnyside High School on Instagram. But Daesun said, I want to share my story. Also, when we first had this conversation, Daesun was one of the people who stood out to me because he started talking about the positive music that he listened to and how music helped lift him up. And he was trying to stay in a positive place. So that was in September, October. By the time December came around and I talked to Daesun, I think this was the day before, may have been the day Daesun went into the hospital. I asked him, told him I wanted him to participate on the panel. He's like, I don't know, Ms. Dixon, you know, I'm not where I was before and I don't know how I'm feeling, and completely understandable. Part of what I want everyone to understand, adults and students alike, every day is different. Like Karen said, some days you may feel great, other days you might feel down. I mean, we've been in COVID quarantine for 10 months. So you will have the ups and downs, you will have the ebbs and flows. It's completely understandable and expected. Through it all, even when Daesun came back from the hospital, I said, Daesun, I know you've been through a lot. You do not have to participate. He said, no, I want to. I want to share my story. I want to let people know that you can get through this and you can come through on the other side. So I have so much appreciation, admiration, respect, and love for you, Daesun, for everything that you shared and for still being here today to tell us about it. And I guarantee you touched way more hearts than you realize by sharing what you have experienced. And if y'all remember at the very beginning when I asked how you're holding up right now, Daesun said, I'm still in recovery. So letting us know, like, just because he's here and again smiling and we might see him at school smiling, don't assume that everyone is okay just because they're smiling. Everyone is doing the best that they can every single day. Thank you, Daesun. Aaliyah, misconceptions, we're gonna keep it moving.
I could talk? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. So I'm actually glad Daesun had me over here finna cry. Cause like you wouldn't expect that. Like Daesun, when me and Daesun was in school together, always playful, always smiling, always had a football in his hand. He ain't gonna never leave without a football in his hand. And he was always this happy person. And it's like, that's what y'all don't see. Y'all think just because y'all see me smiling right now, this tear is like holding in there. It's holding in there. But it's like, you see me smiling right now, half of the time, how I be feeling, it's just like, you don't even want, I want to end it all right now. Like, that's what you don't get. And I could very much relate to that song. I didn't go to the hospital or anything like that, but I actually opened up to my mother and explained to her how I've been feeling. And I'm 17. They always say you're supposed to have that mother and daughter bond to tell your mom everything. And it's like, everybody doesn't have that. And then you have to think, I'm African American. The way that we were raised is just like, you'll be all right. Go ahead. That's how it is. And then they sign as a male. So as an African American male, it's like, why are you crying? Men don't cry, but it's okay to cry. Sometimes you need to cry. Let it go. And that's what I had to learn over the years. And Miss Dixon, we took I think it's like a survey that we take every year to like see like if the students levels and stuff like that. She probably talk about it more. I don't know sure what it is. And she called me personally, mind you, I don't have Miss Dixon number, never had it until now. She called me, Leah, are you okay? And I'm like, what you talking about? I see your survey and it was very high. Like I needed to call you. I felt like I needed to call you. And I was like, okay, we talking. I told her everything. I'm not the type to open up about nothing. Never was the type to open about nothing. I don't trust easy. I feel like everybody out to get me. But Miss Dixon, she's nice. She's a counselor. You supposed to do stuff like this. You supposed to know and know how to fix me. But it's like, instead of me thinking like she's gonna fix me, no, she's gonna help me. And I explained to my mom and my older sister, I'm the youngest of 3 girls. So it's like, y'all know how the household is. Think about it. 3 girls. And your mama, that's 4. Whole gang. I sat them down, I told them everything from when I was suicidal, for when I was, when I got depressed, when I feel like this person, this is why I was attached to them so much. Oh, I'm crying. It's like they didn't understand it. And it's just like, but you're always on your phone. You're always laughing. You're always smiling. It's not like that all the time. When I go in that room, and mama, she just had a conversation with me. She's like, do you need a curfew? Because you be late to class. And just like, see, now if you walk up in there around 2, 3, I'm probably in there crying. Emotional breakdowns be on point. I mean, they back to back. And then I have anxiety. And my anxiety was kind of itching because I get really eager when it comes to stuff like this. So it's like, you probably see my hand shaking a little bit. But it's like, everybody, we're not okay all the time. And it's like, check on your kids. Check on your kids, really. Stop thinking, oh, my baby on the phone, she fine. She on TikTok, she fine. She smiling, she fine. This is your signs. I'm gonna tell y'all this, for real, as a child, because y'all know y'all gonna consider me a child. I'm only 17. I turn 18 next month, though. Don't worry. I go in my room, she just on her phone, she fine. Watch how long I stay in my room. Watch when I come out my room. I come out the room to use the restroom and to get food. And barely that. I get a cup of ice and go back in my room. And I stay in there for the longest. Literally the longest. Why you don't interact with us? I'm stressed. It's just school. Knowing that I'm depressed. I live on the 3rd floor of my home. We live in an apartment. To me, I'm only 5'3". That's a long jump. A really long jump. But in my head, the point that I am, the mindset that I had back then, is how I'm gonna be able to end it all. If I was to just, open the window and go ahead and fall forward. Y'all don't think about it like that because y'all, what are you stressed about? You don't have no reason to be depressed. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that I don't have kids. I'm sorry that I don't have bills. But hey, I'm a student. I'm a junior. I'm learning. I'm learning myself. I'm learning to live in the society that we have right now. But you don't get that. You know why? Because your generation and your time was totally different from mine. We don't know how to speak to y'all at all. That's the first thing. We don't know how to speak to y'all at all. I can't just come, Ma, this how I'm feeling. Because we too scared. The quickest way that y'all do, and I'm talking to my African-American parents, y'all judge us before y'all listen. Stop. Listen to your baby. Listen to your kids. Because half of the time they crying out for help. You my mama. You my dad. Hear me out. Stop listening for what you don't like. What don't sit well with you. You feel like it was disrespectful. Don't worry about that. My baby talking to me. Oh my God. Be proud that your child is talking to you. Because you know how many kids then just sat in their room, hung themselves, slit their wrists in your house. But y'all be quick to say, I know my baby. No, you don't. Because if you did, you would know why I was in that room all day. You would know what I'm thinking up here. Not just this, because I can smile all day. Real pretty smile. Real pretty. But when I go in that room, it's gone. Look at that wall for about 5 minutes, just cry. But y'all don't see that. Because I want to see the child that you're normally used to. The happy live, the smiling live. But you're not going to get that all the time. And what y'all don't get is, y'all think it's not that hard. It's easy. Okay. You sit down and do it. You wake up at 8 in the morning. Stay for 4 periods, 90 minutes each class period. Only get a 45-minute break. You could barely take a nap. Let me tell you that. You barely take a nap. But y'all be quick to say, it's not that hard. Okay, Ma, come sit down right here with me. You wake up and you do this. I want you to see how I feel. Because once that computer is closed, All of that smiling is gone. I'm stressing. I already have, my anxiety is way better than what it was before because I've learned, me and Miss Dixon had a conversation, I learned to control it. And I'm not trying to be like, okay, jump down the parents' throat, but at this point, this is my time to speak. I have to let y'all understand that your kid's not okay. I haven't been okay for a long time. But did you notice? You did it. You just seen I had my phone. That's it. I was smiling. You fine. I'm not. Ma, come sit in my room. Let's have a conversation. They signed brave, very baby. I couldn't even just, the stuff that I've been through, y'all probably gonna be like, woo, and you tend to smile like that. They sign smile every day, naturally. But nobody knows what's going up here. Nobody acts. Nobody naturally cares. And it's okay to just slide by, even friends and family. Are you okay? How you been? That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. You don't have to sit down and just listen to the whole story. That, are you okay? Are you fine? I noticed this. Some people not gonna speak because it's a difference. You have healers, you have readers, you have all of that. Some people want you to read them. Like me, I could look that song right in his eyes, Haley, right in his eyes. You're not okay. I don't know if it's a gift, but I mean, I'm calling it a gift. I can look in your eyes right now. Something wrong with you. And you keep telling me you're okay. I'm okay. No, you're not. And I'm not the type, I ain't gonna pry it out of you, but I'm gonna give you like 10 minutes to think about it, and I'm gonna come back and ask you again until you tell me what's wrong. And y'all really have to understand that as parents, as teachers, stop thinking as, okay, you're a student. I'm setting you up for college. You finna set me up for my funeral. Keep it up, I'm gonna tell you that. Like, I'm being so for real. That's literally how it feels, because y'all just, we already stressed, we're overwhelmed right now, and all you do is throw shots at us. And y'all don't understand it. You hit me with something new every day. Why is this not clean? Why were you absent? Why is your grade failing? Mom, trying. I'm trying. Try harder. You trying to tell me that what I'm trying to do is not good enough? It feels good enough for me. Maybe if you give me some more faith, you know, baby, you doing good. I see you had a 65. You got a 70. I love to see it. That's what we need to hear. We don't need to hear why this not clean. Why your little brother walking around with a dirty diaper? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Ma, tell me that. Did you see my grade? I had a 65. Now I have a 70. Are you proud? I mean, you could do better. Yes, ma'am. Then we go in our room and struggle and stress ourselves to do more. And we don't even know how to handle all of that. We don't get it. We're kids. We don't understand the real world for real. We find ourselves every day. I find something new about myself every day. Every day. And I don't want parents to feel like they're a failure. They failed as a parent. No, use this as a learning time, a learning lesson. Please. Because this is the moment to hear. If any of y'all watching, if this your baby, listen to them. Because they're not going to tell you this when we get off this call. But this may give them motivation to say, Ma, I want to sit down and talk to you. I want to tell you how I've been feeling.
I think we see a calling for you, Aaliyah. So because Aaliyah says a lot in all different ways. You see why Aaliyah is part of the panel. But we have 25 minutes left and we still have a lot to get through. So because parents and teachers, adults in general are asking, what specifically can they do? What can we, I'm an adult too, what can we do to best support you all in how you're feeling? And I heard Aaliyah say already, Aaliyah, not you, not yet, because yes, Aaliyah already said, check on your kids. So check on them. They might act like they don't want to talk to you, but please continue to check on them. Continue to ask them to do things with you. They might say no 5 weeks straight, but on that 6th week, they might say yes. They might open up. So instead of just asking, how was your day? Ask them, what have you learned today? Who have you talked to today? Who made you smile today? What's been really hard about the day? Ask them specific questions, not just how was your day? Fine. And then that's all you get from them. So what specific things can parents, guardians, teachers, Aunts, what can people do, adults do to best support you? Who has not talked in a long time? Tasia. Tasia, then Jaden.
I think adults, like specifically parents, I feel um, like listen. Like I know it sounds very simple, like just listen, but a lot of times when I end up like talking to my parents or just adults in general, they feel the need to lecture or I don't know, like give advice. They always feel the need to talk, which I don't mean to sound rude, but sometimes I just need somebody to listen. You know, I don't need all of that extra stuff. You know, which I mean that can come later, but I just wish that they would listen and not just listen, but like actually hear me. Like I'm sorry, that's my brother in the back, but like you know, resonate with me. You know, just actually listen. As simple as it sounds. Yeah.
Well, obviously, I don't have to go over parents because Lee already did that. But I love my teachers to death. But like, y'all give us too much work. Like, and I feel like that's like 90% of our stress. Like, y'all give us too much work. Like, we need a break sometimes. Like, y'all laughing, but I'm so for real. We need a break sometimes. Like, we are stressed out behind all of that work. Like, bring it down like 10 notches. Like,
Can I say something?
Mia, then Courtney, yes.
So I think this is more, well, this is targeted to parents and teachers or just like adults in general. I talked about this earlier today. So I have, especially right now, I have a really bad relationship with my mom and I don't even live with her anymore. And the reason I bring this up is because I realized after time, a lot of our issues and a lot of our conflict had to do with her own issues with herself and her projection. So I think, so my thing that I really want to bring up that I think is really important is for parents and teachers and adults to assess themselves and realize that sometimes you are projecting your own issues, your own insecurities onto your kids, onto your children. And especially, first of all, it's not fair. And it just creates a ripple effect that will ruin us all unless we have that realization. My mom had a horrible relationship with her own mother. And now, even though myself and my sister, we have always been the two people in our family who push and push and push and have always tried to have the best grades, always try to have the best of everything because we seek that validation from our parents because of how they treated us. And my mom, because of her own issues with herself and her mother, she is very misogynistic. And so she projects a lot of her issues onto me and my sister and not my brothers. And now I don't even live with her because I got kicked out. And that main issue stemmed from her issues with herself that she couldn't look at. She doesn't believe in mental illness. She doesn't believe in depression, but also she struggles with that and I can see it. And because she will never admit that she struggles with it, she projects onto me. She would yell at me. She would make everything my fault when like parents especially need to understand that like we did not ask to be born. And I know that sounds weird, but we just came onto this earth. You had the decision, you made the decision to have us. So we're always taught to, respect our parents, respect adults, but we need to get we need some empathy and some understanding because we didn't ask for our situation. We didn't ask for this life on earth. And you didn't ask for your own situation. And that's why I bring up the projecting. You didn't ask for your situation with your own parents, but putting that all on us and putting the hurt and the hate onto your kids is going to create a generational effect that's going to just make it worse for everybody involved. Instead of looking into yourself and realizing, okay, I'm not in the situation I want to be in. Okay, maybe my kid is doing this or maybe this and that and the other, but creating a huge storm of issues isn't really how we solve anything, especially if a lot of that can be solved by just looking into ourselves and really assessing what are we doing and why are we doing what we're doing? Why are we acting the way that we are? And so I kind of said it like a second ago, but kids deserve empathy. And while we should respect our parents, understand that, again, we did not ask to be here. So just have that little sense of empathy and try to understand our situation and not just go into arguments, go into saying this and that. That's like creating a greater sense of conflict.
Excellent point, Mia. I can't remember who was trying to go after you. Y'all, the time is winding down quickly and we still got a lot of questions, but we're going to make sure we end at 7. And I encourage the panelists to start putting in the chat things that you want to say that you haven't been able to say yet. Someone wanted to go after you, Mia, and I don't remember who it was. Okay, go ahead, Courtney.
Can you say the question again? I kind of forgot.
You just going to answer something, huh? The question, shoot, now I don't forgot the question. Oh, how can adults help? What can they do to best support you?
Oh, okay. Me and my mom, we have a really good relationship. I can talk to my mom about anything. I'm the firstborn. You know, firstborns always have good relationships. Yeah, so pretty much I can talk to my mom about anything. She comes talk to me about anything. I'm basically like her little sister that she never really had. So I'm very open with my mom with relationships, anything. Like I talk to my mom about anything. I never have a problem really talking to my mom. I do think it's a limit. You don't tell your parents everything, but when it comes to parents helping, that was the question, right? Parents helping you?
Adults in general.
Adults
how
in
can they best
general.
support you? Because teachers are asking too, how can they best support you? And not giving y'all schoolwork is not that can't be the answer.
Adults helping you in general, I feel like I don't feel like it's the schoolwork. I'm just a on-hands learner, but I know that's not an option right now. So I feel like I'm just a breakdown type of person. So office hours is an option right now. So I feel like I need to be pushed more. I have a group chat, but that's not enough. So I feel like I need to be very much pushed more. Yeah.
Well, can I share out?
Yes, please go.
I don't know. I just think adults don't know how to recognize if we're actually trying or not. And I just think that adults need to like put more attention into us, because like it'd be like little things that I'll do and try and get my parents' approval, and they won't, notice it or just, I don't know, it just I think they should notice the little things, or just I really don't know how to explain it, but I don't know, just notice the little things.
I'm not gonna be too long. I'm being for real, Miss Hicks.
Wait, let Karen go first. Karen has not talked in a long time. Let Karen go.
Okay, go ahead, Karen.
Okay, I think specifically for teachers, like I understand, like we have major tests coming up. I understand we don't have a lot of time left for them. And I know like that the district is giving you a lot of stuff and it's not entirely your fault, but like just be a lot more like flexible, like deadlines, things like that, because like when you recognize that like your students barely have the energy to like wake up in the morning, like how do you expect them to like open up a computer? Like it's like how am I gonna have the energy? Like I barely have the energy to like go to the restroom and like eat and take care of myself, and yet I'm expected to take care of like all of my grades and everything. It's just like just taking the time to like recognize that and just being more flexible and like showing a little bit more grace.
Okay, now I promise I'm gonna be quick. So teachers wise, we all know that y'all can't just y'all can't give us a free day. We understand it. And we know y'all stressed too. Because y'all got to grade all 150 some of them papers, not me. That's your business. But what you can do, be a little bit more lenient with the grace period. Because 11:59, you got to think, I got 3 other classes. You might get it at 12:15, but you're going to get it. And then y'all be quick to take out them little 5 points. Last year, when I was a sophomore, when in the quarantine, the end of sophomore year, when we first went into quarantine, Mr. Yule, for example, he gave us a grace period. He's a history teacher. Keyword history teacher. You reading them papers. You ain't got no choice. He gave us until 12 o'clock, 12:30, 12:40. Why y'all laughing? So it's like, do that. So one, you don't have to be stressed. And then, you know, when you go into your meetings with y'all bosses, they won't look at you like, why are they grades dropping? And then you like, y'all need to come on, y'all need to pick it up. But it's like, you could help us help you and we could help each other. But see, you ain't think about it like that. I know you did it. I just told you that's why. So y'all need to think about it like that. And parents, again, check on your kids. Talk to them. Motivate them. Talk, it don't matter. Y'all can go, literally, go look at the sky. It don't matter. Y'all can sit in the car and talk. It doesn't matter. Cause me, I'm easily distracted, honestly. Y'all see I'm already fidgeting with stuff. So it's like, talk to your kids. Teachers, just, you
All
know.
right, I'm give it a second. Because, okay, I understand that Cordell looked like he wanted to talk. I'm going to share the screen, share my screen for additional contact. What we are going to do is more like, what have these students here done to cope with this? Because they can complain about their parents, and they can complain about schoolwork for a long time. What I'm hearing is parents, adults in general, please listen. Don't judge, but listen. Listen to listen, not listen to respond, not listen to solve, but just listen to listen. Like so much is very much so out of our control as far as teachers, even administrators. So much is out of our control. We don't like to see y'all struggling and hurting and stressed out the way that you are. We don't want you all to be stressed out the way that you are. At the same time, like my son and some of the students from my son's school, some of their parents are on the call too. I work at KIPP Sunnyside. My daughter is in middle school in Allen ISD. My son is at a private school. I see the spectrum of what is happening at the schools. I love KIPP Sunnyside High School dearly, but I can't allow you all to just say COVID hit, we just shouldn't have to do anything anymore. Because guess what? The rest of the world, the private schools, they're not missing a beat. They are continuing to go, they're continuing to move forward, and they have all the resources at their fingertips. Is it fair that they have all the resources? Not fair at all, but that's where we are in this space. If we just lower our expectations of our Black and Latino students and say, oh, they're having such a hard time because of racism, because so much of it is systemic institutional racism. But this is where we are, y'all. And so if we say life sucks for us, so we're just going to say nothing is due because of all the trauma that we've endured, all we're doing is setting ourselves up and setting you up for more trauma and more of a difficult life going forward. So it is a tough spot that we're in, and our hearts hurt for everyone involved. And to hear what you all are going through, at the same time, we cannot just say, y'all don't do anything because y'all are going through stuff. Because guess what? Even the Allen ISD, they still have these expectations. The private schools, absolutely. When I tell y'all they're not missing a beat, they're not missing a beat. And we don't want you all to fall further behind if other students who are at the same level are continuing to progress. Someone said in the chat, why can't things be due at 6 a.m.? Y'all know what happened if they were due at 6 a.m.? Y'all know y'all already don't go to sleep, right?
We wouldn't do it.
And y'all be up all night stressing and then be tired and cranky and then not log in for class at 8 a.m. So, I mean, we try, trust me, teachers try, the administrators try, we listen, and maybe there's something that we can do to make it more interactive. And I hear some teachers talk the whole time and that is not helpful or fun or engaging at all. So there are definitely things that we can do to make it more interactive and show some more grace. But I just want you all to know that from the teachers, administrators' perspective, we love you all dearly, and we are doing the best that we can to make this as engaging as we can for you all. We'll see what we can do, and hopefully, and the teachers know that I push for them to come listen to this as well, and administrators to listen as well, because I want them to hear what you all are going through and to try to understand also. I also saw something saying don't take, we don't need to rush because this is a lot of valuable information that you are sharing. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen here because I want people to get the resources that are available. So I am the senior counselor for primarily for 11th and 12th grade. Ms. Gomez is for 9th and 10th grade. That is our contact information. If you see that your child, let me put up these signs to look for. First of all, they just told you all the signs. We have 12, 13 students who told you signs to look for. You cannot assume because they're smiling and because they're talking to you outside of the room that they're fine. So look for changes in their sleep, changes in their energy level, changes in concentration or task completion. If your child usually makes good grades and all of a sudden they're not only are they missing assignments, they're not logging in for class, check on them. They're probably not okay. If they're not eating anymore, like they come out for snacks or ice, but not real food, everybody needs to eat. So if your child's not eating, something's probably not okay with them. If their motivation is gone, they have no desire to even do a thing, check on them. The whole feeling that all of this is pointless. What's the point? We're in COVID. What's the point? We can't go dance. We can't cheer. We can't play football. We can't debate. We can't do the things that we're used to doing. What's the point? I hear that in my house. So if you're talking to your children and you hear them saying, what's the point of all of this? Check on them because they need to understand that this is temporary. COVID sucks, but in the grand scheme of your life, it is a temporary moment. So we can't make these long-term decisions and give up on school and give up on life because of this year and a half or so that is just uncomfortable and unfortunate for all of us, especially if your child has thoughts of self-harm or suicide. I'm gonna use Aaliyah as an example. She said it kind of with a smile on her face, so it could be confusing. Aaliyah obviously has thought about jumping out of her apartment building window. That is not okay. So Aaliyah wonders why I called her when I saw the needs assessment. I do a needs assessment with the students at the beginning of every year to check on them, see how they're doing with their stress, anxiety, self-harm, things of that nature. If it is something concerning, I will call them to check on them. So yeah, again, check on your children, talk to your children. Those are the signs to look for. This is our contact information, but what I want you all to do now. So if you feel like you need to leave any of the participants, feel free, but I want you all to talk about now, what has gotten you through? You all are here. Something has motivated you. Something has kept you going. There's something that you have held on to through all of this to keep you here. Dayson.
It was two things. The night before I had planned to kill myself, I actually called the suicide hotline, and I talked to a young lady named Sam for about 40 minutes. And then the young lady, she asked me, was there anything she could do? And I was like, no. She was just like, well, talk to your dad. And I think that's really what helped me, talking to my dad. Or is somebody who I could feel like cares. I talked to him, and I feel like he had a trouble. The problem that parents have is they try to understand. Some things are meant to be understood because you've never been in a situation that you can't relate to it, so it's going to be harder for you to understand what's really going on. So I felt like I definitely called the suicide hotline. That actually helped, and also speaking to my parents also really pushed me to get through it. They got me help.
I actually want all of y'all to answer this question because all of y'all had something that you have held on to. So
What's the question again?
Can you repeat the question? Thank you. Sorry.
what has gotten you through this? What is if you have a go-to coping skill, a hobby, a friend, like what have you done to get you through? I'm calling y'all one at a time so we can keep track. Mia.
So last year, I think, well, firstly, my friends, like every time I've thought of doing something to myself, I thought of my friends. They, like, mind you, I'm someone who been with KIPP since 5th grade. I have all the same friends for the most part, and they mean the absolute world to me. And just knowing that I've helped them so much and me not being here would hurt them. I couldn't, it helps motivate me to stay through. And also last year I started trying to write more, or looking at little things to be grateful for, because I stressed out a lot, and I've been trying more and more to balance my stress with things that I'm grateful for. Like, even if it's little things, like I see a color that I like, oh, I like that color, just the little things like that to seem positive and and see the beauty in life, like literally.
Hold up, Annie, because I think Annie needs to go. Annie, you're up.
Oh, what was the question again?
This is what happens in class, y'all. This is real. What is a coping skill that you have held on to? What's gotten you through? How have you survived COVID quarantine?
I play with my sister a lot. I have a little sister, so I play with her a lot, and I spend a lot of time with my brother when he's not working because he does work, and that's about it. Honestly, I just be by myself most of the time, so I just find little ways like coloring or writing down my feelings. So that's what helps me.
I ain't go now, Ms. Dixon. Okay. Thing that keeps me going and motivated during this time is my mother. We we had built a better bond during this quarantine, I guess because we don't live with each other no more. So we get to laugh and joke around. And she's more open to me now, and I feel like I can trust her with anything more than like I used to. Cause like I didn't even, it was hard for me to talk to Miss Dixon just about school by itself. But then I was like able to talk to Dixon, which led me to talk to my mother and my pops, and have a better bond with them. And now I just every time like I just want to go to sleep in class, I think about like what will my mom say right now? Like what would she say? Would she curse me out, or would she say okay, Cordo? And she would most likely curse me out. And I think like that's what I'm gonna keep in my mind going through this quarantine, and I'm also gonna keep that for the rest of my life.
Miss Dixon, you're on mute.
Wow, thank you. Aaliyah's going to sit there and laugh at me. See how you do. Thank you, Mr. Hines, too. But I see some attendees are posting in the chat what you all do, whether you're an adult or a student, child. I encourage you to post in the chat what you have done to help you cope during COVID, too, because we all need additional coping skills. All right, Aaliyah.
So what I've been doing, I've always liked to write. I mean, when it was me writing, it was my thoughts writing. So I was like, I'll write. And then I'm also a hairstylist. So if somebody would book an appointments, I'd be so eager to do their hair. So it's like I do that, or I just talk. Even if I have to talk, it's probably crazy. Even if you have to talk to yourself. Because I'm the realest person I know, so I'm gonna talk to myself. So, but sometimes you need to talk to other people. You can talk to your friends, family, it doesn't matter. But it's just like my mom, I just seen her name pop up. She was all like, I'm Aaliyah's mom. See that right there, that recognition, that's what we be wanting. Like, okay, that's my baby. You hear her? Because my mom ain't never heard me talk like this a day in her life, probably. So it's like that right there, that just made me feel happy in the inside over here, jittery, like, you see me, mom? You see me? So it's like stuff like that. But that's pretty much it from writing and listening to music and talking to people. That's the best way I've coped. Yeah. And talking to Miss Dixon.
Thank you, Aaliyah. Ooh, am I okay? I did not pay them to say any of this. Cool. Wait. Oh Lord, somebody left and it messed up. Karen, if y'all can just hang tight, people of the attendees, if you can hang tight, we're going to try our best to finish by 7:15. I want them all to answer this, and then in one quick question, y'all see the additional support if you need to. I'm going to keep that up there so you all can check in. If like Sun said, the suicide hotline help. There's a text line also. You can just text everything if you're not comfortable talking to someone. So please use that information if you need it. Karen, coping skills, how have you gotten through?
So I think just like doing things that like make me happy, like even if it's just for like a little bit, like recently I ordered this book because it was like no longer online anymore. I had this book I read in like middle school, right? And it's like this like lovey-dovey romantic like little trashy novel, right? And it's like I read it when I was 13 and I'm now 18. Like it's little things that just like make me feel like happy again, It's like this book is not that good reading it one more time, but it's like it just makes me happy. So little things like that.
Thank you, Karen. Courtney. Oh, y'all all moving on the screen. Courtney.
Okay, we're talking about things that get you through COVID, right? Okay. Um, Something that got me through COVID is hanging with. Well, I hung with a lot of people, like hanging out and stuff like that. Y'all probably know her. Them. They graduated here, and talking to my mom and well, I take my sister places, and yeah, going to my grandma's house and eating a lot of food.
Thank you, Courtney. Toya, you're up.
Um, just like what life has in store for me. That's what I look at. You know, I gotta be grateful. I can wake up. I can see colors. I can, you know, I can talk to my mother, to my father, to my sister. I just, I just became thankful for the little things. I can touch. I can smell. I can hear. I can walk. I have hands, fingers, toes. I have a roof over my head. And yeah, there's some times where I thought like, what if I just take my life and like would people even care? Think about it, like probably not, but pretty much yeah, people care, and I just want to like experience life before it's all over and cry, man. But it's cool, you know. And then my training, that like keeps me sane. Oh man, I'm gonna cry. But my training, I just wanna travel the world. I wanna go to places. You know, that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Toyo. And check the chat, Toyo. So many people care and love you. Even if you punch them in the face, they still care about you. But really, what Toyo said, the little things. I mean, sometimes if it's not much that you can count on, but okay, I have breath. I can get up in the morning. The little things that often are the big things. Thank you, Toyo. Tasia.
Toya got me crying a little bit. I just want you to know that I love you so much and that I care about you. But for me, what got me through quarantine was my friends. I don't know if I would still be here without them, to be honest. Like, you like I feel like I'm so grateful to have people that I can talk to because I know a lot of people don't have that. And meditating has got me through it, and small things like going outside and eating my favorite food, listening to music, playing episode, things like that. Like just the small things. And just every day when I wake up, like I list things like before I even get out of bed, things that I'm grateful for because not because not everybody, I think there's a lot of things that we take for granted. But like I have lights, I have water, I have food, I have technology. Like it's so much to be thankful for. So yeah, every day I just remember everything that I have that I know a lot of people don't even have access to, and it helps me get me through the day. So.
Thank you, Tasia. Jane, hopefully you're still there. We're going to Haley, and then hopefully Jane will be back by then. Haley.
Okay. I feel like I remember the question, so I'm just gonna go from that. First of all, Toyota, I freaking love you. So I just want to put that out there. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Some words. English? What's the question? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Music. I think. And then like what Toyota said about Toyo, sorry. Said about just like not taking like little things for granted, and Maya said it too. Like I don't know, like I got a deep connection with coffee and grits. Like I didn't know until COVID, but I really be like like it was really the only thing like getting me up in the morning. I'd be like, bro, I know I gotta go to class, but like, let me get up and go make this coffee real quick. You know, a little quick 2 minutes. It don't be 2 minutes, it'd be like 7 because it's a very serious process for me. But anyways, you know, just find your thing. And even if it's like, it's a little weird, you know, do you. And tell them, whoever got something to say, be like, you're my business. Don't do that. Tell them. Because that's your business. And they don't need to be worried about what you're doing. Because whatever makes you happy, you need to do that. Because you stuck with you. You can't go nowhere. When you go to sleep, you go to sleep with you. Unless, I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to be in y'all business, but, you know. But anyways, you know, just do what you got to do for you. Because you, and you stuck with you. That's all I got to say.
Love it. There are so many little gems here. You're stuck with you. Jaden, she's having tech issues, but she's there. Jaden, what do you do to cope? What's gotten you through COVID?
So honestly, I don't know. Like, like I might call Miss Dixon. Like, if something going on, I might, Miss Dixon, I need to have a little quick meeting or something. Or I listen to music, or like sometimes I get tired of listening to music. Like, so I go to sleep. I could be in the middle of class, and if I feel like I'm just not there, I'm going to go to sleep. Like, so, yeah.
Rest is powerful and helpful. All right. Toyo, still feeling it. Toyo, we love you. Mia is Mia, M-I-A, not Maya. Toyo is Toyo, not Toyota. Haley has these endearing names for people. We just want to make sure you know who they are. The last question, one word or one sentence, because we're going to finish on this one. What are you all looking forward to doing most once this is like, we're all safe, we can take the mask off, we can just live life? What are you looking forward to doing the most? Cordell got real excited. Cordell, you go first.
Yes, I will be traveling to Miami, New York, and I want to go out the country. I hope I'm not just a broke college student at this time, but that's the plan that I want to do.
Courtney.
Okay. I would like to experience life how it was at first, without masks, going to the store, like without the I'm going to still do the 6 feet thing, but you know, without the standing in lines to get in stores, and I just want life to be normal again. Please. Thank you, Jesus. Please.
Tasia.
I think like honestly, like I'm looking forward to everything. Like I'm never taking nothing for granted after this again. I swear. Because beforehand, I was just, I don't know. I was a little ignorant. Like I didn't really understand like the whole like virus, like when stuff like this happens. Like I've never lived through like a really like big thing like this, and so I think I took my life for granted. But after this, like I'm gonna be having fun. Like I'm gonna do what I want to do. Like I'm gonna like live life to the fullest. That's what I'm gonna say.
Karen.
So like Cordell said, traveling, living life, and just living life to the fullest. But also, I got accepted into my dream college, and like I know other people in other seniors here, they also got accepted to their colleges, and like I'm just so excited to like be able to like live that. I want to, I want to go to college. I want to do all those things. As much as I talk about like complaining about school, I genuinely like learning. It's just a test I don't feel, but like I genuinely enjoy learning, and I'm genuinely excited about college. I just wish it would be done without COVID.
Karen's being modest. Wellesley. She won't say the school. Wellesley, Cordell, Alabama A&M. All right. Dayson, you're up. What are you looking forward to most?
I'm going to the military, so I'm excited to go. I'm excited to go to the army, I guess. Let's see.
Thank you. Haley.
I'm sorry, I know this is like my third time asking, but what was the question?
Ooh, child. Your teachers are like, yep, that's Haley. What are you looking forward to most once this is all over, once the pandemic is over?
Okay. I don't think I've ever wanted to see the ashy-feeted people in Fiesta with no mask on so bad. But I want to go into the Fiesta and just see regular smuggler people without a mask on. Like, oh my God, it is so weird. Like, let me see your face. I'm just saying, I just want to see your face. And then people be trying to like talk to me and stuff. And I'll be like, bro, I don't even know if you're cute. You can be ugly behind that mask. Let me not say that. But anyways, I'm just saying, let me see your face. I want to see y'all faces and just the porcelain skin. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Y'all, the time is, they've done really well. So we're going to wrap this up. Jaden.
So for me, not gonna lie, y'all, I kind of been beating the system, like going out when I feel like it, but I want to be able to go party again when I really feel like it. Like, I hate being at home. Being at home gives me like, yeah, that. So I feel like I can't wait till I'm able to, be able to really, really go out and be free.
Jaden said beating the system. We're not going to beat the system. We're going to wait till it's really over, okay? Toyo.
I don't know. Once they say, hey, Corona, gone, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna rent out like a place, have a huge party in it. But the thing I'm most looking forward to is just talking to people without their masks and just like not being afraid to like be close to people and probably get into some tournaments just so I can, experience that too. Because that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Toyo. They did not say they missed the KIPP parties. Ha ha. We're going to bring them back at some point when it's safe. Aaliyah.
What I'm most looking forward to do once quarantine is over and stuff like that. In other words, like Jada said, I want to run the street. I swear. But like for real, because I don't go out the house anyway. So it's like, you want to go somewhere? Girl, let me get my keys. Say less. I don't even want to ask my mom, can I leave? Mom, can I go? No, I ain't even gonna do that. Say I gotta go. And like, I want to start back doing hair like I normally do because all of this traveling to people, that's a lot of money. And I do good services, so it's like, think, you don't have to come to me. So this need to go about its business so I could get back my clients for real. But my thing, I want to go outside because I don't even really go outside. But now, like Taja said, I took that for granted. Oh, I ain't taking that for granted this time. Oh, yeah. You want to go to this party? Say less. You want to go to the movie? Say less. You want to go skate? I don't even know how to skate. Say less. You want to go to the pool? Can't even swim. Say less. I ain't gonna care. But that's pretty much it. And I'm gonna be safe, you guys, because I see somebody like nothing in the streets. Of course not. It's dangerous out there. But when you're smart about it, you can do whatever. But that's it. You go to Courtney.
Courtney went. I think it was Mia left, right?
Yeah.
Somebody said charge a traveling fee, Aaliyah. Charge a traveling fee for hair. All right, Mia.
Like Karen, I also got accepted to my top college. It's in Pennsylvania, so I'm like so ready to, first of all, move from Houston, move from Texas, go live in Pennsylvania, and then actually get to like make friends and like also travel because like I love New York. I've been there once. I want to be able to like actually go there when the city is how it's supposed to be. I want to be able to like meet up with Karen at her college and like just like feel like I'm living my life, you know? Like genuinely just feel like I'm living.
Mia's also being very modest. She will be going to Swarthmore. So we are excited about everything that our juniors, seniors, freshmen, sophomore, everything that you all have planned in post-COVID life. Even if you have to start college off in a little bit of kind of with a mask on, we have faith in you all. Everything will be awesome for you. Any closing thoughts or remarks before we head off? Anything you wanted to say but did not get to say? Y'all said a lot. You've said a whole lot.
Wait, I gotta click. I gotta see his face. Where that sign go? Hey, that sign. Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Both of you come to this camera. We love you, and if you, we love you. If you need to talk to somebody, I'm not gonna give my number over here because I don't know all these folks. But you got some type of my social media. You can talk to me. I like listening to people and their problems. I don't know why, but we love you, and you could be open about it. And everybody that's on the panel, I love all of you guys, and I'm proud of you for coming out and telling how you truly feel because we don't get through that all the time. But that's pretty much it. And Miss Dixon, I really appreciate you for giving me this opportunity. That's pretty much it.
I'm finna say this. I'm finna be real quick. Brother, I love you. You know that. Anyways, I love all my teachers too. Y'all really love people. Dixon, you go hard. You really slap. You cool. I like you. And yeah, have a wonderful day, y'all. Be blessed. Round of applause. Oh, that was their song. Okay.
The applause goes to you all. Thank you all, attendees, for listening in. Thank you, panelists, for being so open and honest. And when we did the first meeting about this last week, the students were like, why do we have to wait till next week? Why can't we do this tomorrow? They've been so eager just to share this information. So I'm glad we finally had an opportunity to do it. We are going to post it on YouTube so that more people can hear it because they have shared so much insight, so much wisdom that we want more people to take advantage of it. So thank you, each and every one of you. I appreciate you for your time, your vulnerability, your honesty, your courage, your community, your scholarship, all of the core values that we love to work on at KIPP Sunnyside High School. You all demonstrated every single one of them tonight, so we are extremely proud of you. Thank you very much. If you all want to give some love to our panelists in the chat, please do so. Thank you all again for your time. We have nothing. Again, the resources are still up intentionally, so if you need one, student, parent, adult, anyone, please utilize the resources there that are posted on the on your screen, hopefully. That is all that we have. Otherwise, thank you and have a good night.